So it's been a decent first 45 minutes between Real Tamale United and of course Kumasi Asante Kotoko. Game being played at the National Sports Stadium. At the moment, it is goalless between the pair, and it is Kotoko who have had the best of chances but have failed to make it count. Kalu Watara getting the clearest of chances to put Asante Kotoko ahead, but he failed and passed the ball back to the RTU goalkeeper. So the game is goalless, and as you know, RTU need to win this game at all costs to stand a chance of surviving in the Ghana Premier League. Any result apart from a win today would be very, very huge would cost RTU as they look to survive in the Ghana Premier League there. I'm sure the second 45 minutes will be a big one for them, and the halftime team talk would be one that should ginger RTU to come out. Kumasi Asante Kotoko have been fairly comfortable in this game. They could have had a couple of goals, but chances fell to the likes of Kalu Watara, Serge Eric Zeze, and these chances were blown away. So it's 0-0 at the Sheriga Sports Stadium. My name is Mutala Yakubu, still here with Nanedu and of course Josiah Kokwe. Nanedu, first 45 minutes, Kotoko have had the better of chances, but they've not been able to that counts.
No, right from the before the start of the game, you can hear from the coach. It was like they've realized they are almost out of the Ghana Premier League. So you can see from that angle, like almost game in the bed a little bit slow. So I'm not really surprised as Kotoko is having a better first half than RTU, and I'm sure in the second half they are likely to score at least one goal. And one goal will put them to 46 points. And that will guarantee them Premier League next season. And I think that will be good for the club. So I think second half we may see more intense and more, aggressive like what we saw in the first 45 minutes. I think in the second half, Kotoko would like to score at least a goal in the first 20 minutes.
Josiah, the game started on a bit of a slow pace, but they picked up from the 15-minute going. But Kotoko could have had a couple of goals. The clearest chances fell to Kalu Watara, and I don't know, he just cushioned the ball back to the goalkeeper.
Yeah, I think they've been the most dominant side in the first 45. We clearly stated that they were really going to enjoy possession. They have more quality in midfield, and you can see that they've been winning the 50-50 duels, in the middle of the pitch. They've just not been clinical enough, and you can see that goal that fell to Kalu Watara, and you'd be thinking, what was going through his mind? He should have buried that. That ball was even, more difficult to miss. He just played it straight to the goalkeeper to save, which was not very, very good. With a player of his caliber, a player who is deputizing for Stephen Mukwala, who has scored 14 goals, you should be doing better. And that's the reason why if Stephen Mukwala should come back to the team, it means that Kalu Watara will be relegated back to the bench.
His confidence is a bit low.
Yeah, it's low, but these are the goals you need to score. It was served to him on a platter. He should be scoring that. It would have been very, very easy to score that. I just don't know how. And, that brings us back to where there's this popular narrative that he's good, and it looks statistically, it's also true that he loves to score with his head, and love those crosses into the box more than trying to score with his feet.
If Bernard Sumwa is on the bench, I think he's more, purposeful up front, and he's very good in terms of link-up play with the attacking midfielders, much more than Kalu Watara, especially when you are playing this kind of system. Baba Yaya from the wings, Peter Minukwakwa from the wings. These are not typical wingers who cross the ball into the 18-yard box. So when you have Zeze and those players around you, I prefer a movement striker. A striker is very good in link-up play in Bernard Sumwa than Kalu Watara.
I think they are not playing to suit Kalu's strength, because his greatest strength or asset that he has is in the air. When the ball is in the air, that is where he shows his prowess. But they are not even sending crosses into the box.
Yeah, it's also because RTU have really been on the alert. They've really placed players at the wide areas, which has limited the movement of the Kotoko players in those areas. And you can see that almost every attack, almost every incursion they make into the third half is through the middle. That's where they felt very, very comfortable. Somewhere is it Peter Midu Aqua had a one-on-one situation with the goalkeeper and also flapped that chance. The biggest chances the biggest chances have really fallen to Kumasi Asante Kotoko, but then they're failing to make them count. They've been very, very dominant. You take nothing away from the Kotoko side, but they should be very, very careful of this RTU side. You can see the way they try to build up very, very slow but steady. They know how to move, whenever they are attacking. We've spoken about the fact that if Kotoko are going to enjoy, a lot of possession, then you should know how to move when you have the ball in quick transition. They've been disciplined without the ball. RTU, they've given away some chances yes, they've not been as good as we want them to be or want to see them play. They've not really given the Kotoko the competition they want to. Yes, the scoreline would really favor them, but any chance again that Kotoko should get in the second half, if this half sloppy, they'll play defensively, then they would be punished for it.
Yeah.
Kalu Atara has been wasteful. We've seen Peter Amiduakwa also waste a couple of chances. Eric Zeze has been over-elaborating throughout the first 45. He's a brilliant player, but sometimes I believe he does it too many times. He needs to keep it simple. Enoch Morrison has been brilliant, and he's been by far the best player for Kotoko in the first 45, but they need to improve.
Nanido, I was looking at Serge Eric Zeze, and he's seen most of the ball for Asante Kotoko. It looks like everything that Kotoko have been doing in this game has gone through Serge Eric Zeze, but there seem to be some form of elaboration on his part. He holds on to the ball too much.
He's one of the on and off kind of players, you know. One good game, the other game, you know, average. Eric Zeze is that style of, you know, player. So you don't even see him.
Starting gamer, you don't really see his impact.
Sometimes,
but when he comes from the bench, he really impacts the game.
That is what I'm saying. Or you're more of on and off type of players. When you have a good game today, the next game is a different situation for
and to be a top player, you need to keep some form of consistency.
That is the issue. That is why I'm talking about, you know, change of personnel in those areas for them. I think someone like Michael Chijamena could come in the second half to play the number 8 role, and you push Enoch Morrison up front to operate from the wings, and Baba Yaya comes to the number 10 position. So in the second half, these are some few changes I would expect the coach to do. Bernard Stomwa for Kalu Watara, and of course someone like, you know, Michael Chijamena for Eric Zeze, so that you push Enoch Morrison, who is a better crosser in the 18-yard box, to the wings, and Baba Yaya, a typical number 10 who can create a lot of space for the other players to do well up front. So I'm expecting those two changes in the second half from, you know,
Jose, do you think out you are missing Mankuyeli? Just not even on the bench for them.
The coach has stated it before the game started. He's spoken about the fact that if you have a player who has scored 8 Premier League goals for you and he's not playing, he's your top scorer, but obviously every team or any team at all would miss such a player. But they need to step up without him.
But they need to get a job. The likes of Refree and Anaya on the bench for them. Baba Kushibo is also on the bench for them.
Would part ways with the team right after the end of the season.
He's one of the most influential players in this RTU setup.
And those are the players they need.
Big 45 minutes coming up for RTU. Do they need Baba Kushibo right from the start of the recess?
I believe they would have to bring him on, because you know, you see Kotoko trying to attack quite a lot of times. Nicholas Bonsu pushing very forward. Emmanuel Kute also pushing forward. So you need very, very fast and pacey wingers, and that's the kind of game Baba Kushibo wants. Those 1v1 situations, lots of space to attack. Just look at that. Every single time you have the Kotoko fullbacks trying to attack, they've tried to create overloads up there. But then when out you have the ball, they do not have very pacey wingers to try and transition the ball for them. And that's how you can beat Kotoko. If they hold on to the ball more, they need to exploit the spaces they leave behind, and they fail to do that all afternoon. But if they should bring Baba Kushibo on, I believe something could change for them, because he loves the 1v1 situation. He loves to use
this was the opportunity that fell to Kalu Watara, and boy oh boy, he should have scored this one. There was no way that a striker in form, or a striker whose confidence is sky up, will miss from there. It was a good opportunity from Kotoko, but there seemed to be too many 40 passes or misplaced passes also from Enoch Morrison in the middle. Nanedu.
Yes, you know, first of all, about a chance, you know, Kalu Watara missed, you know, player who strike the way team like Asante Kotoko. You need to score from that angle, to be honest. And Enoch Morrison is the main engine of that Asante Kotoko midfield. Andrews in too many, that's all the dirty work. Get the ball. The most important thing is to give the ball to Enoch Morrison. So if things are not working for him, if his passes are not going through to the wingers in the team, it affects Kotoko's performance. So I would like to see Morrison more, even though I still believe he's the best player in the first 45 minutes for Asante Kotoko. He will need to improve his game together with Eric Zeze to make sure they create a lot of chances for Asante Kotoko.
Now, just 45 minutes stand between the way of RTU and relegation. How do they approach the second half?
Mutala, it's tough. I don't know what the halftime pep talk will be about, but the coach has already considered that they are out. Despite the fact that mathematically they are still in contention, and if they should win this game and win the outstanding game against Dreams, and also go on to beat Accra Great Olympics, maybe the narrative could change. But there's also Karela, who have a couple of games to play, one at home and one away from home against Mediama. I just think they have to give these fans something to cheer for. You can see the stance. It's not been that lively over there, and that's the kind of energy out here also playing with. They need to send them into raptures, at least something for them. They know they are going out, but you don't go down without putting up a fight, and that's what these fans need. You see the mood around there. You can see that it looks like, yes, they know RT are down, but trust me, they'll celebrate a goal if they should score.
Now, Larry, if we are going to have a goal in the second half, it looks like Kotoko are the side that could go ahead in this game due to how they conducted themselves in the first half, creating a lot of decent chances which were being missed. How do Kotoko themselves come into the second half?
I'll be surprised if they don't win this game. I'll be surprised if they don't get the maximum 90 minutes. Sure, with the kind of motivation they are having now, it looks like RTU is on the verge of joining Division 1. Kotoko should do everything possible to score at least a goal in the second half. They have a good team to get the maximum 3 points in now. Seriga Stadium.
So I just had a message from Nidakon. Nidakon is the PRO for the Kumasi Asante Kotoko supporters circle in Accra. He has sent me a message and says that we are winning, okay? Don't worry. Okay, Nidakon, yeah, share. We'll see you are winning. Let's see what happens in the second 45 minutes. It will be a big one. But Prosper Nati Ogum, would you have any headache going into the second half, knowing that they are on a pretty good scale in the ball possession and also the number of chances created? Should he also change personnel or change the tactics?
No, I just believe he would be the more confident coach amongst the two coaches. His team has been dominant. They've had the better chances. They've created the best chances throughout the first half, and he knows that all that is missing is that cut. That finishing touch. They've done all the good job. A couple of chances falling to Ouattara and Co. They just need to be confident.
So let's go back to the National Stadium. Kumasi Asante Kotoko have made a change. Bernard Sumo, of course, coming on from Kalu Ouattara. Let's enjoy the second 45 minutes.
Did not have a very good first half, and so he's been taken off. Second